the recitation of Al-Fatihah. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Today we have finally get the opportunity to have our another one professional discussion. Okay, just to read to you the housekeeping rules in case some of you miss it. Okay, the members of the discussion should observe professionalism through number one, focus to improve teaching and learning related matters. Okay, whatever that we discuss today, it is advised that we focus on how to improve our teaching and learning matters. Okay, next, focus to discuss issues and events, not people or their personal condition. Okay, number three, keep confidential the names of people if it involves malpractices of any form. In case you have anything that you want to ask, maybe your colleague, you notice maybe your colleague or someone that you know, okay, did something wrong in the past and you want to ask it about it, okay, just ask, but please do not share the identity of the person who did it. Okay, and then please respect other members when they are talking or asking question. Okay, let's allow the members to finish talking first before we try to participate. Okay, and then try to conclude with useful practices that can be done to improve teaching and learning activities. Who knows, maybe our friends, our other members today can learn from us as well. Okay, and participating members, what can you do? You can ask questions. Please feel free to ask any questions, answer questions as well, share concerns if you have any, share good practices and network with other members on a newfound effort. Okay, just to reiterate, okay, today I am going to just moderate the session. Okay, the quality of the discussion today will rely on our participation. Okay, as a member of this discussion. Okay, so today just to recap. Okay, our discussion today is on ChatGPT, the impact, possible implication on teaching and learning. So, just to start the discussion, okay, if I may I ask, from all of us that already been here, how many of us is already use ChatGPT in our teaching and learning activities? Boleh tak kalau nak raise hand ke? Eh, ada tak?
Tak ada lah guna, but then sorry, Aizat Rayani here.
Ya, kenal.
I never use the app for my classes lah, but then I tried out just to like experiment and to see how powerful it is lah. Yeah, so to my surprise, it's super powerful. Super powerful.
Powerful in what sense?
Basically, I can ask GPT to produce slide, and yeah, it produce slides instantaneously. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Brother Rani. Okay, Brother Rani told earlier, ChatGPT can help us to produce slides. How about the others?
That produce everything literally.
Brother Rahman? Abang Rahman? Macam nak share something?
Oh,
Anyone?
tak ada. Sorry. I baru join, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm Afifah here from ELD. Like Brother Rawyani, I've played around with ChatGPT a bit. Indeed, like what Brother Rawyani said, it is very powerful. It's just sometimes bila buat banyak kali when we fit the prompt, sometimes you can notice that the language is quite similar. But I actually like it because it helps me learn. I treat it like Wikipedia. Whatever it is that I want to ask, macam simplified version of history of something or theory of something. So we just ask them in simplified version and dia dah bagi point form. So I think the explanation is a bit clear. But language-wise, I think language there is quite ChatGPT-ish. I don't know if you notice that, Brother Royani. I don't know
Yeah,
what to
very.
say.
It doesn't sound natural, tapi it's much better than.
Oh, it doesn't sound natural. Okay, I like the point that Sister Afifah mentioned earlier. It sounds macam more
Robotic.
interactive version of Wikipedia. Is it Wikipedia?
Betul.
So when talk about Wikipedia, if our students use Wikipedia, in as their referencing, do we have issues with that? Boleh tak agak-agak?
I think Wikipedia, I'm not because for our course we don't have many. Okay, adalah juga written assignment, but Wikipedia, I'm not sure about the rest, but because it's open edited, right? Anybody can, literally anyone with access of internet can edit. So the apa, the content is a bit questionable, I think. So I'm not sure
I
the
see.
rest.
Okay, thank you. Okay, because some people might also have this apa ni? Perception, yeah, perception on ChatGPT as well. Okay, how about yang lain? Yang lain, ada ni tak? What's your opinion? Is there anything that what would be your uh, perception whether ChatGPT would it help our student in their learning? Okay, kalau dari tadi Brother Roy ni share, okay, Sister Afifah pun share, macam both benefit from ChatGPT. Okay, how about from the perspective of our students? Maybe we can go by, kalau rasa macam tak sure how to approach this discussion, mungkin boleh cuba relate the application of ChatGPT in our own field of study, dari segi law ke ataupun apa ni, architecture study ke, ada tak?
Uh, mungkin I can share with you. I remember Dr. Fatima, if I'm not mistaken, she shared with us in the WhatsApp group, like pantun created by ChatGPT. So I thought because we thought because it's like English based, English medium or English based app, so we assumed the app wouldn't be able to produce like natural Malay kind of you know
Boleh tak?
Malay sentence.
Okay, boleh tak?
Tapi
Boleh
the
tak?
yeah, and then I tried out and then asked the app to produce that Malay pantun like literally, and basically it could come up with like good Malay pantuns, Malay sentences I would say. So to me that is quite surprising lah. Macam it doesn't have to be English, it can be any languages. And so quite powerful lah to us. I mean to me.
Okay, bila Brother Roy ni cakap kan, boleh keluar Malay pantun, I immediately input into ChatGPT. Contoh pantun Melayu, dia keluar kat sini. Tinggi-tinggi Gunung Kinabalu, berseri-seri bunga melu, hidup rukun dalam masyarakat, mari bersama kita menjaga keamanan. Pantun ke ni? Macam tak pantun.
Macam tak kan?
Ya, maybe lah, maybe. By the way, yang lain, please feel free to apa ni, interact juga. Otherwise nanti kita jadi session borak-borak between us sahaja. Yang lain dengar je. Okay. Uh, okay, how about there's this apa ni? This one study tau I came across earlier. Okay. Apparently students, they really value ChatGPT. They consider ChatGPT as very powerful. You know, they feel like whenever they cannot reach their teachers, their instructors, ChatGPT is there for them. Okay, so the question here for me lah, okay, do you think ChatGPT would be able to somehow replace the role of tutor, the role of instructor itself in students learning? Rasa macam mana? Is it healthy to have that?
If I may add, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
My name is Muhammad Ridwan from Legal Studies. Actually, for me, I believe ChatGPT is a tool in education. We should maybe we can recognize it as a tool for education, and just like other tools in education, not many students actually they are aware about the power, about the things, miracle things that this kind of tools can do. So in a way, still students who are have those who have make initiative, students who they are advanced, they can take benefit from this kind of technology advancement. But still, some students who decide not to take to know, they don't want to know, they don't want to care about this kind of things, still they will be missed out. So going back to your question, whether it can take the role as a lecturer or as the facilitator, I would say totally very much it depends on how the students can utilize and benefit it for their studies.
Okay, thank you Brother Ridwan. Anyone else wants to comment on that? Ada tak? Mungkin ada from different perspective perhaps.
May I?
Yeah, please. Please Ustazah.
If no, Ustazah. if we let ChatGPT do our work, then it will replace us. So I guess to the extent, it's up to us. How can we make ourselves indispensable that the student will still need us? If ChatGPT can do what we can do, then some will argue we are no longer necessary. So is there anything that we can do but ChatGPT cannot do? I think we need to find out,
Yang
because
dah
if
pernah
we
yang dah pernah guna ChatGPT, do you think ChatGPT there's anything else that we can do that ChatGPT can't?
the thing is, I asked ChatGPT this question: Can it replace teachers? It says that it cannot. It can. Well, it doesn't. It cannot. It just offers that the things that they can do, but the things like that only human can do, like the emotional aspect of it, which is a standard answer. But what is that really like? In practical terms, yang tu, I think we have to find out. I think we have to like make the decision, and make the choice that we shouldn't let ChatGPT replace us. Bukan, in a sense we are competing jugalah. We are competing for
We
this.
are competing with ChatGPT.
Yeah, it can be seen as in competition. I don't know. Maybe if let's say if it can do what we can do, then we are in competition. I just my two
Ada
cents.
yang nak tambah or comment on that? I'm really intrigued by the statement. Okay, we are competing with ChatGPT. Uh, yeah, Brother Royani.
No, no. For some reason, I kind of like disagree with that because I think we can use our own experiences when we had COVID and pandemic. Yeah, we thought that having online classes was a good thing. Yeah, but then we know the impact it gave to our students. Right, the moment we asked them to come back to the campus, we could say that okay, ni patutlah belajar online. Kan, in fact, what we had very recently kan before Raya hari tu pun, no after Raya hari tu pun macam okay sebab dia belajar online patutlah tak faham kan. So I would say having online classes or having a platform or maybe having an app to teach our student will never replace us because we have so many elements kan. We are soul beings, meaning we can touch our students heart, we can actually play around with their emotions. Yeah, all those are needed by our students kan. Yeah, even if we can say that macam they can learn on their own, they can read anything, but then that touch is irreplaceable lah. And you have to have teachers, like physical teachers, to teach you so many things. Yeah.
Okay, meaning to say, okay, just to recap what Brother Remy said, did you mean that ChatGPT is more like to us to help us to like elevate our teaching
Yeah.
activity rather than to focus on all this theoretical knowledge, and tu ChatGPT dah boleh tolong handle, so
Yeah.
we focus more on the personalized part of learning, okay, which also was the point of our sister Zainab tadi. Okay, thank you so much to both. Okay, cuma bila cakap pasal this theoretical punya knowledge kan, I have this one question yang I nak throw to all of you, okay, for you to think about. Okay, bila cakap pasal, when we talk about this theoretical knowledge, okay, it also implies ChatGPT, the interface itself. We ask question, it provide response. We ask question, it provide response, right? Okay, so that really relates very, kalau kita tengok right now we are in curriculum review punya circle kan, semua rasa dah sangat-sangat well versed dengan PLO kita, PLO 1 describe the knowledge yang student belajar, PLO 2 apply. Now when it comes to preparing questions for exams, you know, students with ChatGPT kan, dia boleh macam generate je soalan-soalan, dia boleh keluar semua jawapan. Similarly for as teachers kan, I'm thinking it might make our job easier kan, bila kita nak buat soalan, okay, we key in the question, okay, terus keluar jawapan, dah siap soalan kita dengan dia punya answer scheme, that's it. But at the same time students can also do that. So how do you see the implication of ChatGPT itself on the assessment? Okay, how what do you think about it? Positive, negative, or is it the potential is limitless? Macam mana? Anyone nak share apa-apa? Ada tak siapa-siapa yang nak share?
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Nina DLS. I did try using ChatGPT to prepare questions, but it seems that I can only had an idea what the question is about. But at the end of the day, I still need to tailor that kind of question with our, yelah kita ada apa medium hard semua tu. But I use that untuk quiz lah MCQ. But just to get an idea to get to untuk dapatkan air sedap sikit ke contohnya, then I improvise from that. Personally, I don't think GPT can tailor the questions according to our needs lah. Macam itu kita kena ada PLO semua tu kan. CLO. So as for my experience, it can be used just to get the rough idea so that we can improvise, we can explore from that maybe rough question that they prepared for us. Or maybe we should try they say kan kalau nak masukkan soalan, it has to be very specific, you nak macam mana, then only ChatGPT akan keluarkan soalan yang macam yang powerful lah. Maybe my question tu pun very general kan, so soalan yang keluar yang dijawab tu pun general idea lah, but I don't take the question answered by ChatGPT tu literally. Kita ubah with our human touch, tailor with our own needs lah.
I see. Thank you Sister Nina daripada legal studies kan. Mungkin juga legal studies the nature of the field itself something yang dah orang kata apa is written yang segala law tu semua kan. Kalau bidang-bidang lain dia ada field yang maybe lebih dynamic ke? Anyone from sciences nak share ke? Ya. Dr. Farid. Sila Dr. Farid.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Saya Farid daripada LMD. Okay, terima kasih ada session. Jadi menarik sebenarnya. First of all, saya nak highlight the pasal GPT ni, whether we like it or not. GPT ni akan jadi trending dan dia akan keep expanding. Itu yang reality yang kita kena terima dan itulah cabaran yang kita perlu terima, whether it's good or bad. Tapi saya nampak ChatGPT ni is good to play a role for the student as well as for us to understand subject matter. Untuk nak belajar boleh. Cuma mungkin kita boleh nampak masalah dia in term of assessment untuk lecturer for assessment. Untuk kita buat assignment, project, presentation, mungkin dia akan berlaku ketidakterusan lah. Tapi dalam EOSE for example pun tak ada masalah sangat. Dia tak mengganggu sangat ChatGPT ni sebab EOSE berlaku dalam offline, physical. Tapi itulah saya nampak benefit dia ada. Challenge dekat assessment. Tetapi saya bagi contoh saya pernah pakai banyak kali ChatGPT ni untuk acquire data juga. For example, saya pernah try 2 kali. Satu untuk collect data. For example, secondary data. Sometimes dia kita dah buat spesifik macam mana pun dan make it scope to context, contextual based. Data yang dia dapat tu kadang-kadang kita ragu dia kat mana dia ambil. Maknanya kadang-kadang boleh jadi tak valid pun sebenarnya data yang dia ambil tu. Sebagai contoh lagi, yang kedua, saya pernah suruh ChatGPT buat literature review contohnya tentang sesuatu dan dia quote tak siapa-siapa dah. Saya cari balik, author tu tak wujud pun. So maknanya saya nak cakap yang our relevant role tu memang ada. Our role tu masih relevant dan dia masih mendapat benefit untuk both lecturer dan student. Cuma mungkin isunya adalah mungkin yang take home assignment lah. Itu saja, thank you.
Okay, thank you Dr. Farid. Okay, Dr. Farid dia pernah try. Okay, kat situ ada reliability issue yang I notice tadi. Right, Dr. Farid mention okay how he attempted to ask ChatGPT to write literature review. Okay, the references somehow untraceable some of it. Kan? Ada yang lain macam mana? Okay, data validity of data. Yes, Sister Hazwani, sila.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Interestingly, like Dr. Farid kan, saya pun pernah try juga nak tulis systematic literature review SLR paper, and I asked ChatGPT untuk tulislah a list of references. And then bila I check one by one, semua references ni come from one library je. So okay, fine. If you simply would like to obtain some information ke ataupun content, then obviously ChatGPT is a very powerful tool. Okay, yang ni semua orang agree lah kot. But even even that, it is still questionable tau in terms of the content. Kita ni kan nak dapatkan ilmu, sepatutnya kita tahulah dari mana sumber-sumber ni. So yang ni kita memang tak tahu daripada mana dia dapat and so on. So we still need to be very careful lah. We can embrace it in some point, but then just be careful. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sister. Okay, Sister Hazwani mention how we need to be careful, right? Okay, tapi kalau student kita buat, dia guna kan, somehow maybe lah, because they are still students, CFS pula tu level foundation je. Okay, they are not exposed to this. Okay, so maybe this is one of the concern. Okay, is there anything that we can help them to actually use this properly? Sebab macam Dr. Farid mention tadi, nak tak nak, suka tak suka, okay, we either we pros or we against this ChatGPT. It is coming, okay, definitely, okay, it's coming and it's going to affect the teaching and learning. Okay, so how we identify ways, how do we solve this? Okay, sebab tadi Sister Hazwani pun cakap, okay, reliability issue in academics is a serious problem. Okay, ada tak siapa-siapa yang mungkin pernah terfikir, okay, how instead of kita treat, ChatGPT is not reliable, janganlah guna, no, okay, tapi macam mana cara we want to move forward, okay, because this is a technology yang memang akan be a part of us one day. Okay, macam mana agak-agak?
Just now, Brother Aizat, you mentioned the issue of assessment, right, when it comes to ChatGPT kan.
Yes.
Tapi Alhamdulillah currently we don't have to really worry about that sebab Turnitin semua boleh detect dah ChatGPT and other AI assisted writing. So meaning if the student submit the assignment ni kan, so we can check lah.
Okay.
Plagiarism. So that should be okay lah in terms of assessment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sister Hazwani. Bila Sister Hazwani mention macam tu, okay, that points us to the direction yang sebenarnya kita ada sistem untuk correct that. Okay, but the thing is that is the corrective measure. Student dah submit, they hand over their work. Okay, the corrective measure is that we check. Okay, we do a checking on their work. Okay, but the thing is, in terms of students learning, okay, we want them to learn as they go as well. Okay, you may have heard this. Okay, assessment of learning. Kan, assessment of learning ni yang summative assessment. Okay, kita bagi assessment untuk test student punya learning. Contoh, kita bagi dia assignment, kita bagi dia project, kita bagi dia exam, that assessment of learning. Tapi assessment as learning, okay, while the learning goes, kita nak assess macam mana, is there any preventive measure, okay, sebab kita tahu nak tak nak student akan guna juga, they will use ChatGPT. Okay, should we wait until they turn in their work and then we correct them, or is there any way that we can let them learn properly while they are using ChatGPT? Macam mana? Anyone?
I think you have to rephrase your sentence. I mean your question.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Brother Rayani. Brother Rayani space out, so dia minta saya rephrase. Okay, bila student turn in their work, okay, benda tu dah berlaku, okay, we notice, okay, you use ChatGPT but somehow it's not in the right way, okay, ChatGPT, you don't key in the question dalam ChatGPT, lepas tu you ambil, you masuk dalam your report, okay, that would be the wrong way of learning. That would be the wrong way of using ChatGPT in education. Kan? Kita tak nak student plagiarize macam tu. In fact, I think Dr. Farid earlier pun ada mention pasal integrity issue among students juga. Okay. So, how do we correct this? Rather than kita dapat kerja student tu, kita point out kat dia, kita ajar dia, okay, this is the right way to use ChatGPT. Okay, that is corrective measure. Okay, tapi macam mana kita nak daripada awal lagi, kita nak prevent student daripada gunakan ChatGPT dalam cara yang tak betul tu. Sebab nak tak nak, the fact is student akan guna ChatGPT. Right. Okay, so macam mana kita nak membudayakan, if I may use the term, membudayakan ChatGPT dalam pembelajaran. Okay, bukan dalam pengajaran lah, mungkin dalam pengajaran kita ada cara kita sendiri. Tapi dalam pembelajaran student, okay, how do we do that? Because ChatGPT will be a part of their life. So macam mana?
If I may comment on that, I think, I think that is our direction, because we know that we are reviewing our curriculums, and one of the subjects proposed by the center is modern literacy, where the members agreed to include, like, one of the topics is ChatGPT. Yeah, meaning I think it's not only we teach them, at the same time we have to raise awareness by touching on the topics in our syllabus. Actually, it's also important. Sebab macam I mean, for example, if we replace ChatGPT with PowerPoint, because we know that PowerPoint is very important for us, kan, for students. Tapi still some of us still struggling to come up with good presentation slide, PowerPoint slide, kan. So maksudnya macam we have to raise awareness, at the same time we have to teach them how to use whatever apps properly, kan. Of course lah, it takes some time. Kan, nak guna PowerPoint pun memerlukan masa, walaupun PowerPoint was like introduced so many years ago. So sama juga for this one, the first step, we have to raise awareness, we include in our curriculum, and we have to teach them the do's and don'ts when it comes to using ChatGPT and other apps as well. That would be my comment on that.
Okay, thank you, Brother Ryan.
I agree with that. It has to be clear what is wrong and what is right, because it's new, kind of new, right? And then the gray areas, let's say, how the kind of questions you can or should ask, dia macam the realm of macam moral, kan, like it's not wrong, but is it should it be done that way? And the values ni betul lah, memang balik this thing memang human, from one human to another. Like ChatGPT can say these are the moral values, tapi how does it look like, in real life memang human lah exemplify, and then come back to us as moral, memang macam tu lah kot. Tapi has to be clear to students, ni boleh ni tak boleh. Kalau you buat, you akan kena penalize, macam plagiarism, kan. And then benda yang tu lah, yang grey area, like macam how much should ChatGPT should help you tu, yang tu student has to be trained to make their own judgment. In the end, it's students' own decision. If they do something and they got away with that, kita tak detect pun, it's their own decision. They have to realise lah the repercussion of that. Like, kalau you ambil shortcut sekarang, later in life pun you ambil shortcut. I think we understand that, right? That route. So memang betul lah kena datang daripada manusia juga. Unless AI, can embody, itu istilah lah. Okay, that's it.
I totally like see eye to eye to what Sister Umu mentioned lah. Sebab I think Brother Aizat, I think like me, Sister Umu and other like language teachers, we are quite special sebab we can detect whatever like small changes that happen. Sebab we are very much like sensitive to words. Yeah, so we can talk about like sciences, you can like produce scientific knowledge using ChatGPT, but then you cannot lie your words, you cannot lie your language. Yeah, so we can see the coherence of cohesions, kan. So I think we are glad sebab kita orang jadi macam language teachers ni, we can detect your language, I mean we can detect your work very easily based on how you write the sentences. Yeah, walaupun macam nampak tip-top, kan, tapi kita akan tengok, dia punya cohesion dia punya word structure dia, macam mana you start your introduction, kan. So tu mungkin kelebihan untuk language people lah, kan. Walaupun ChatGPT can produce so much, but then you cannot lie language teachers. Ya, macam tu.
Talking about language, kan, I've heard this talk between AI scientists. Diorang cakap for ChatGPT to be like you not optimize ChatGPT, you cannot give the right prompts. So to be able to give them to ask the right questions, you need to know how to ask the questions. So sometimes people in the humanities, I'm not saying they are better, but knowing how to ask questions can be an advantage. Because even kalau kata you can ask question to ChatGPT, dia kan ada juga rules yang kata I'm not I cannot answer this, kena comply to sebab you can get around that and then you will answer you if you ask, know how to ask it questions. Jadi kalau katalah let's say even kalau we have all this measurement in place kan ni tak boleh tapi kalau student lepas juga lepas lah kan like how much kita boleh macam jadi gatekeeper itu. So eventually memang kena ajar student like all this ethics and memang eventually it comes to that lah.
Saya nampak macam that's a good point. Cuma saya nampak macam cara dia sebab of course lah it depends on what kind of questions you ask, tapi at the same time what you can do is you can like control through the rubrics you use kan, sebab rubrik tu akan menentukan what kind of expectations you want from your students kan. So mungkin they can ask so many things tapi your rubrics tu akan menentukan the output you get from your students. Dr. Farid angkat tangan.
Dr. Farid angkat tangan. Dr. Farid?
Tak ada saya tak angkat tangan.
Sorry. Kalau angkat tangan. How about Sister Afifah? I noticed earlier maybe sister ada something suarakan tadi.
I almost forgot, but I think I would just like to agree with what Brother Rawani said earlier, because especially when we teach language and we know how the student is, like for example, if I teach level 4 and level 5, we know it's not like we look down or underestimate them, but dia macam if they produce something that is totally not at their respective level, it can be seen easily tau. So like what Umu and Brother Roy said, you cannot lie your language macam tu. So that is very true. So how is the situation like for other subjects, especially subjects like in HS and econs where they need to produce lots of writings, right? They need to
Content based on subjects kan, very content.
Yep, content based.
Tapi for us macam we don't focus much on the content. The moment you use like very simple sentences terus macam trigger us kan. Jadi macam repeat terus, we are very sensitive to words actually.
Okay, grammar people, language people. Yeah, Brother Shamsuddin. We have Brother Shamsuddin.
I just want to share some thought there. Recently also I detected those kind of cases whereby ada complex language and then very simple language kan. But itulah macam it depends on how good they are in creating the prompts tau. Macam kalau ChatGPT ni dia boleh assign persona lagi, meaning to say that they can generate macam write a paragraph about this using very simple English. Dia boleh letak macam itu, and then ChatGPT can actually produce a very simple English that may reflect their level of because they probably know we in English ke apa, dia akan setkan a lower set of persona for the ChatGPT there. What's your thought on that?
Interesting. Macam mana language people?
Itulah sebab kita macam ada interaction with our student kan, macam as mentioned by Sister Afifah, sebab you know the student personally. Normally when you are in like for example level 4, you expect certain kind of competency. So the moment you see the product ataupun the quality of the work of your student tu macam kenapa tak tally kan. So bukanlah kita nak underestimate, tapi that's how it works basically. Isaac kenapa angkat tangan?
Nak tanya. Okay, I'm not a moderator now. Nak tanya, especially to language people ni. Does that means you actually expect student to not try to improve themselves? Sebab bila cakap macam, student, your answer sounds very good. Okay, it's not like you at all.
No, not like that.
Dia macam, kalau dia band 5 kan, dia level 5 maksudnya datang yang band 4, and kita pernah buat macam in class writing yang sangat impromptu, we take their phone, like very natural. Tiba-tiba minggu depan, daripada tak boleh tulis, daripada cakap thing like she will going to cafe, tiba-tiba jadi sangat with adverbs with tu, you get a bit
impossible.
Dia jadi she will go terus.
She will do that, dia dah jadi, dia tambah adverb yang very sophisticated word like turbulence, word like you have never used that before. So that kind of thing lah.
Ya, betul. Untuk language tak boleh. It takes some time lah for you to really master the proficiency tu.
I see.
Tapi I do agree with Brother Syam juga kan. It depends on how creative you are with your prompt tu. Cumanya macam walaupun you are creative with your prompt ataupun whatever you want to call it kan. Cumanya still the moment you transition from one point to another tu, this is where our expertise akan comes in. Kita tu nampak macam how you transition from one point to another. This is where this like app cannot like manipulate or cannot like create. And that's more cohesion yang no one would notice except language people. Yeah, so kita akan nampak macam that transition, simple transition tu kita nampak ada kenapa ayat dia lain sebab mungkin yang those yang focus more on the content tu, you focus more on okay ketak content dia, tapi for us kita tengok kepada dia punya cohesion dia, coherence dia. Benda tu agak susah lah untuk apps ataupun Allahualam, I've never tried out like fully the app, tapi to me bila kita tengok kan student yang copy paste, kita nampak terus yang dia punya introduction tip top, tapi masuk je macam kenapa macam that small change like transitional markers kan, macam you just gonna so tiba-tiba macam moreover ataupun furthermore kan, macam faham tak? Dia sepatutnya consistent. When if you say that you are proficient, it has to be consistent throughout macam.
Okay, thank you, Brother Rani and the other language lecturers. Okay, how about the non-language, especially sciences? Tadi sebab tadi ada mention kan, Brother Rani specifically mention about science pula. Okay, so science stream. How about, do we have anyone from science stream here? Could nak share? Okay, how ChatGPT, you interact with ChatGPT? How do you measure or manage your students' work? Okay, when they use ChatGPT, ada tak? Or me? Yeah.
Can I prompt one? For example, like we also have ChatGPT is a particular tool, but how about macam other AI tools such as design AI and etc. There right now, there's a lot of AI. I just recently learned about this. AI you put into words, they generate this picture, they generate that design and etc. There. I'm just curious about AED, for example. Does that affect how student actually experience that kind of thing? Do you have any particular assessment that nak katanya whereby these AI tools might not take over lah what they're supposed to learn tu? Ada tak AED sini?
AED ataupun ex-AED pun apa? Dr. Farid. Okay, what do you think? Yeah, Sister Fatin.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, just share lah. Okay, rasanya mostly of the AED students memang tak berapa expose lagi dengan this design AI, but mostly memang ada dah expose lah dengan ChatGPT. So kalau tengok daripada design AI and then kalau daripada ChatGPT pun, current project kita, project 4 ni like to design a reading pod. So reading pod ni kalau kita cari dekat ChatGPT pun dia akan come out dengan the suggestion what to be like prepared, macam mana kita nak design, macam mana lightings dia, fixtures dia, fittings dia, macam mana space and layout dia semua keluar. Tapi back to kita punya nature, memang tak boleh lah just by reading that. So sama juga design AI pun sama juga, gambar keluar, tapi because we are doing this dekat CFS ni kita guna manual, so memang tak ada chance lah untuk diorang guna. And diorang boleh refer that daripada contoh keluar gambar ke apa, diorang just type. Tapi still kita akan tengok and kena ada hands-on feedback, and then they have to explain lah how they organize konsep ni, they translate konsep ni, layout ni macam mana dia dapat, macam mana dia kira this floor area. So macam susah sikit dekat sini, tapi mungkin dekat Gombak diorang dah start computerize buat kerja tu, mungkin ada banyak advantage sikit lah. But theoretical saya rasa untuk courses yang teori lebih kurang sama dengan experience teachers yang lain lah, lecturer yang lain. So diorang ada advantage. ChatGPT ni juga facilitate them, tapi untuk design courses susah sikit lah untuk diorang guna pakai ni untuk buat assessment diorang ni lah. Basically memang semua buat manual, kita akan tengok dan perlukan sebenarnya juga teachers to be there with the students. Sebab ada instruction bila kita cakap how to produce 2-point perspective, memang akan keluar all the first step, second step. Tapi kalau tak ada, even dulu kita buat masa online COVID pun, kita sediakan video still susah sikit student sebenarnya untuk faham walaupun through video. So apa lagi dengan ni lah. So YouTube pun ada tapi still they would prefer to have a physical tutorial lah ataupun demonstration dengan lecturer setakat ni lah. Macam tu.
Okay, terima kasih Sister Fatin. Okay, tadi Brother Ryan ni ada mention pasal rubrics need to be enhanced. Okay, Brother Syamsuddin pun ada tanya kalau there are certain ada AI punya modul, not ChatGPT yang boleh tolong draw lagi, right? Lepas tu tadi pun earlier Brother Royani pun ada dengan Sister Afifah kot ada cakap yang ChatGPT can help student to produce presentation slide. So I'm thinking how would all this affect the rubrics? Okay, sebab rubrik kita, okay, dia ada content kan, ChatGPT dah cover content, right? Okay, language mungkin the languages department, okay, you cover on that. Tapi kalau macam, how about if we really want to access content and student, dia dapat daripada ChatGPT, somehow, how do we approach that? Okay, do you see if there is any problem in this? Ke macam mana? Or do you like macam, nah, this is part of technological change, we need to embrace it regardless whatever the impact. Macam mana agak-agak? Anyone?
Sister Umu, would you like to say something on that?
Kenapa nak invite I pula? Rubrik
Okay, well the rest thinking, I think I have nak katanya ada responsible juga lah nak share. Hari tu ada pergi workshop by this one prof and then diterangkan lah ada beberapa kelemahan ChatGPT ni, and we can capitalize on the weakness of ChatGPT in order to design our criteria for our assessment. Contohnya macam one of the criteria that I remember is that dia punya ChatGPT ni dia ada database of knowledge lah, yang mana kalau very recent punya information macam 1 year ago dan sebagainya, within 1 year tu dia masih tak boleh nak terangkan lagi, macam factual based lah, factual based information macam ask ChatGPT what happened last month in the world, dia tak boleh nak jawab. Okay, so we can capitalize on these cases, yang very recent one, and use this case to actually ask question dan sebagainya. Okay, cumanya saya pun dah fikir macam nak counter ni. Okay, saya pun dah test nak counter ni. Boleh juga counter, meaning to say that student boleh, macam I've also tried myself, kalau diberi case macam mana pun, first kita masukkan case tu dalam ChatGPT dulu, bagi dia baca dulu, summarize dulu, and then after that baru boleh minta tanya soalan tentang case di atas. So itulah nak katanya, saya cuba nak capitalize on that, tapi macam still hackable jugalah sebenarnya. But at least that's among the method that I can think of lah, bermaksud use factual information, factual cases that happen within 1 year. Okay, yang mana benda case-case semua tu dia tak masuk lagi dalam database ChatGPT that. So don't ask student explain the commercial law. Jangan tanya macam itu. Okay, buat assignment tentang explaining commercial law, jangan. Okay, so what are the other things there? Okay, bagi satu case that happen in the previous year ke apa semua that, and then really ask about factual information about that. So diorang kena at least cari juga manually, instead of asking ChatGPT. At least those are among the few things lah. And probably add macam suruh diorang sulamkan, add Islamic perspective dan sebagainya, macam add more conflicting variables there to make it much more harder lah for ChatGPT to actually generate that.
Does that means the emphasis on, let's say, PLO1 will decrease as we go forward when we talk about alternative assessment, assignment, project, presentation ke? Will that happen?
Yes and no. Yes means generic term, generic concept that over time macam all the years is still the same definition, bukan macam itu. Tapi no tu ialah macam if let's say the information is very recent about the field. Macam there's new definition by this new scholar that was given last year contohnya. That one boleh. Because it's a very recent one and it's still PLO1 juga. Tapi ada PLO1 yang memang is a all year round punya definition that we always use for years and years in the field dah, yang itu is something to change, okay. but PLO1 can also be, but you know, factual knowledge lah, the updated factual knowledge that happen within 1 year macam itu.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you, Brother Shamsuddin, for the sharing. Okay, so lepas ni kita sama-sama boleh ingat, okay, we need to always remember, okay, we need to, one of the ways to cope with ChatGPT, okay, whenever we want to ask these questions, factual, definition, ask students to describe, okay, we need to focus on the recency of the question itself, okay. Other than that, okay, macam Brother Shamsuddin cakap tadi, pointed out, okay, we try to increase more variable in the question itself, application, Islamic base, kita pun ada SAF. Okay, thank you Brother Rayani. Thank you so much for your participation earlier, contribution earlier. Jazakallah. Okay, yang lain, is there anything else that you want to share? Kita ada masa sedikit saja lagi, about less than 10 minutes. Ada anything else that maybe you want to share? Okay, by the way, please remember to log in your attendance. Okay, Brother Sufyan already shared the attendance in the link. Ada lagi tak yang lain? Anyone who would like to share, okay, your opinion, okay, maybe your perspective on this ChatGPT? Quite they are quite apa ni, banyak juga yang kita discuss tadi kan. Sekejap
Just curious, kalau macam ada subjek-subjek yang ada mathematical calculation dan sebagainya tu, itu macam mana, ada efek tak ChatGPT ni?
Macam mana? Any mathematics teachers here? Statistik ke? Try kejap how to calculate. Any mathematics teachers want to share? Mathematical function. Dekat sini I key in, I input solve mathematical function. The ChatGPT responded, certainly dia boleh. Okay, please provide me with specific equation. Can someone give me specific equation? Solve pula kan. Basic multiplication of course lah boleh. Okay, how about yang lain? Sekejap I check. Okay, how about in term of curriculum development? Okay, do you see, because yalah apa ni, kebetulan pula kita pun dalam curriculum review punya cycle kan. Do you see that ChatGPT can enhance our curriculum development process? Okay, maybe to refine our material. Kita tengah cakap pasal ChatGPT ni, tapi somehow in our curriculum review cycle, kita tak ambil pot langsung. We don't even consider ChatGPT punya existence kat situ. Okay, so macam mana? Should we use this, take into consideration in develop our curriculum? Revolves around maybe ChatGPT ke, lesson plan, assignments, assessments, right? Macam mana? Anyone? Ada apa-apa ni tak? Is there any opinion from the members?
Saya pernah guna ChatGPT untuk generate fun activities in class, pernah generate syllabus, pernah generate assessment task, and then
generate syllabus macam mana Brother Syam?
Macam write a course on apa, write a 12-week course on apa, and then you will be surprised keluar semua tu.
Kenapa tak share daripada awal? Awal.
Boleh keluar tu actually.
A 12 weeks course for introduction to economics.
Right, fun activities. For this topic on apa, boleh. Right, even question generating pun boleh juga.
Betul. Saya cuba masukkan soalan prompt dia, write a 12 weeks course for introduction to economy. Keluar week 1 apa, week 2 apa, week 3 sampailah week 12. Kalau kita dapat ni daripada awal curriculum review hari tu, mungkin proses kita pun jadi lagi mudah kan. Yang lain, any comment on this? Very interesting. Okay. Ada? Okay, tak apa. Mungkin masing-masing pun baru try juga kan. Dengar Brother Syam punya. Ya, I dapat apa ni? Course outline daripada ChatGPT. Okay. In fact, it actually can assist us in preparing curriculum in curriculum development. Okay. So we only have like 2 minutes left. I think we should wrap up now. Okay, our session. Okay. Firstly, thank you so much everyone for your participation today. Rasanya walaupun hari ni session kita lebih kepada macam borak-borak, you know, we discuss this. Biasalah kita academics punya stuff kan. Benda yang kita discuss pun sometimes academic in nature. Okay, so thank you so much. I think we benefit from this session. Okay, among other things yang I just nak provide quick recap. Okay, yang kita discuss tadi. ChatGPT, the ethical implication, integrity of students, okay, in term of their assessment, okay, and then how to view ChatGPT. Is it should we treat ChatGPT as our competitor, or should it to be more of a complement, okay, so that we as lecturers, okay, can focus more on the human aspect of learning. Yang ni sangat-sangat lah orang kata apa, in line dengan SAF kan. Kita nak humanizing education. Kan bila cakap SAF in humanizing education, sepatutnya kita kat IUM lebih embrace ChatGPT sebenarnya. Sebab whatever yang computerized, biar ChatGPT handle. Kita yang human punya staff ni, lecturer ni, kita handle part yang lebih personalized. Right? Okay. It's interesting how ChatGPT, at first kita nampak macam a threat, probable threat. Now, it is actually quite consistent with SAF punya element. Okay. And also, when we talk about how student may take advantage, maybe kat situ ada how we can focus more on the ethical aspect, okay, guide them, okay, rather than correcting them bila benda dah jadi, we prevent them by guiding them actively. Okay, so those are among the main points. Okay, kalau katalah tadi ada yang masuk lambat ke, nak tengok balik, you want to follow the discussion from the beginning, you can always go to Akil TV on YouTube. Okay, boleh subscribe sekali. Okay, you may watch the video, okay, from the beginning. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you so much everyone for your time, for your participation as well. Okay, I apologize for any shortcomings. Okay, let's end our session today with tasbih kafarah and suratul as. Subhanallah, asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, thank you so much everyone. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Welcome.